Hi, my name is Maxence Lefebvre, and I will present here the work that I conducted with Martin Turbe on the convection on the tidally locked planets. For more than 25 years now, there have been a numerous number of planets that have been discovered. Some of them are in the habitable zone, as you can see here, and a large number of them are close to the host stars and thought to be tidally locked. To study the climate on such planets, GCM were used, and one of the main results of those study is the presence of a thick cloud deck at the substellar point that will affect the surface temperature. But there is a wide disparity of this cloud deck between the different GCM. So what is in a GCM? So in a GCM, so you have the dynamical core, the radiative transfer, a macrophysical model, and as the grid size of a typical GCM is about 100 of kilometers, you have a subgrid parameterization of the turbulence and the convection. But those parameterizations are either too simple to fully represent the convection, or use tuning that are based on Earth convection and not usable for tidally locked planets. So one way to study the convection and improve the GCM is to use a mesoscale model. So in a mesoscale model, you have a dynamical core, but with the grid side that is smaller, so from 1 meter to some tens of kilometer. You have a radiative transfer, macrophysical model, and RANA with this small grid size, you can resolve the convection, and you don't need parameterization. So such model was used to study the convection in the tropics, the convection at the surface of Mars, but also the convection into the cloud of Venus. And there is also some applications on tidally locked planets. I show here one with GCM and zoom with the grid size of 4 kilometers, where most of the convection is resolved. And so now I will present the model that we built. So the model is composed of the dynamical core WRF and the physics from the NMD GCM, so the radiative transfer code and the macrophysical model. So the test case of the study is Proxima b, and we choose a north-based atmospheric composition. So the vertical domain goes from the ground to 40 kilometers, and for the horizontal domain we have a grid size of 1 kilometer over the 250 kilometer, and we take into account the heating from the large-scale dynamics in the form of a constant of the constant profile from the GCM. And in the next slides, I will present results obtained with the various sets of stellar flux and rotation rate. And now I've presented here the resolved convection for the nominal case. So you can see on the top panel a vertical cross section of the vertical wind, where you can see a very strong updraft with the vertical wind speed reaching up to 50 meters per second. And on the bottom panel, you can see here an horizontal cross section of the vertical wind at 1 kilometer here, with the convective cell of 50 kilometer of diameter. And here is presented an horizontal cross section of the vertical wind at 20 kilometer, where you can see the deep convective cell. And now it's presented the associated water cloud content. So you can see that there is a thick complete cloud coverage of the planet between 20 and 25 kilometer. And you can also see here the strong updraft from the deep convection that create clouds. So here is presented the clouds. So in the form of the OLR here in the brightness temperature, and you can see here the strong deep convection cluster that is visible into the albedo map and into the vertical integrated water clouds column content. And so for that case, it's really the deep convection that will create the most of the albedo. You can see here comparison between between the reserve convection here in red and the GCM cloud coverage. You can see that into the two model you have a complete cloud coverage layer that is quite similar in depth and in altitude, but you see that for the low altitude clouds there is a strong discrepancy, where for the reserve convection the clouds starts to appear at 2.5 kilometers, where for the GCM you can have clouds very near to the surface, and so the overall albedo for the reserve convection is less than from the GCM. Now it's presented here. So the vertical cloud cover. So for 3 cases of stellar installations, and so what you can see is the increase of the low altitude cloud coverage with the increasing stellar installations, and the decreasing thickness of the high altitude clouds with the stellar installations, and overall the albedo will increase with the increasing flux due to the low altitude clouds. What is shown here is the comparison of the vertical profile of the cloud fraction for two sets of rotation rate. So the plane line is for 11-day rotation period, and the dashed line is for a 60-day rotation period. What you can see here is that for the 60-day rotation period, the high cloud coverage is thicker, and this is due to the fact that between the two rotation periods, the general circulation changes, and the large-scale dynamics for the 60-day rotation period case will force the high cloud coverage to be thicker with the stronger deep conduction. And you can also see here that there is some difference between the two rotation rates for the low clouds, but overall the increase of rotation period will increase the albedo of the domain. And I leave you now with the conclusion and perspective. Thank you for your attention.